Uh, I'm sorry. I was just rehearsing my commentary for this video. So anyway, let's get things started, shall we? So this is Psychedelic Eyeball, and welcome back to Prince of Persia 3D. This is the well-fabled return to form that was expected after the absolutely pitiful and horrible last level, which was the Floating Ruins. So this is level 14, the Cliffs, and well, it is indeed a return to form after the last level, but then again, anything will be a return to form due to how horrible this level was, and I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys. This level is hardly better than the last level was. It's pretty much as horrible, but both levels suck for absolutely different reasons. The Floating Ruins really was a horrible level because the graphics were utterly awful, and finally the level layout made absolutely no sense at all. It was horrible to navigate. Well, this level is also pretty horrible to navigate. It's slightly better looking. I have to say that this is a quite eerie and atmospheric level, but well, on the flip side, this level is really completely fucking boring. I already said in the past that, well, level 7, the rooftops, and finally the first level of the dirigible were really boring level, but this one takes the cake. It is by far one of the longest level of the game. It's just a little bit shorter than the Floating Ruins, but yeah, let's just go back to that. Instead, we're gonna focus at this block of ice here. This is where your fire arrows that you got about 10 levels earlier finally have some use. You can use them to free this guy.
Thank you. Thank you, my son. Safe passage lies beyond that door. Let me open it for you.
Grasp of English, very difficult. Me being stuck in ice for long. But hey, I'm obviously the first person out there who's going to rip on other people for being bad at English, so yeah, maybe I should just shut up and let's just carry on to the rest of the level description. So, in a nutshell, this level is pretty much nothing but walking. And every once in a while you'll have an obstacle to go through. Well, just like every single level of this game, you might ask, but yeah, this time it's about 80% of walking and 20% obstacle. And right now, yeah, the gates close automatically after some time. You need to find a way to keep something into that floor plate in order to keep the gates open. So we're just getting outside here and look at this secret alcove here. For the best treasure ever, some meat which is eaten by a rat. But hey, we're going to pocket it anyway because it's not like the prince is the most equilibrated person out there brain-wise. So this is why you pick up meat, in order to have rats press on the floor plate for you. Only the power of 3 rats and a piece of meat could hold that floor plate down. But oh god, we've got a brand new enemy here. One of the last few new enemies that you'll find and see for the end of the game. This is the demon. And well, this guy's probably one of the hardest enemy of the entire game because, yeah, he swings his weapon incredibly fast. He does it a lot faster than you, so even when you're just about to hit him, well, he catch up on you in fastness. And he's also got a shit ton of health too. And alright, here we go. And those guys dies just like the assassin. You also decapitate those freaks. But yeah, we went all the way here in order to actually get our mustache on a pedestal back. This part is entirely optional if you actually get the fire arrows from one of the previous levels and you still have some of them. But if you don't have them, well, you need to go here in order to access the shrine here, which make fire arrows for you. So now, when you get them, you need to rush all the way back to wherever you were and shoot them before they actually fade away from your inventory in order to free the monk to open the way up for you. So, let's investigate the safe passageway that the monk supposedly opened for me. After all the encounters with monks that we've had in this game, I'm pretty sure this one is actually right. Yeah, talk about a safe passageway. A place filled with huge jump and finally gaps that seem really dangerous. But no, I figured that it's really safe indeed. Because yeah, there's a potion which refills all of your health inside a cave which is filled with bats that come all around the place. So here we go, folks. This is probably the reason number one why this level is so awful, because this level is nothing but walking and climbing and just wading around the level. It's not like there's any obstacles or anything. It's just incredibly straightforward jumpings. I mean, if you've managed to get there, all of those things will be incredibly easy for you by now. So it's essentially just a huge giant piece of stadium. But yeah, you've got some tricky jumps like this one. This is where the game will actually start to make you jump sideways a whole lot in order to grab on ledges, in order to shimmy along them. Yeah, you need to do a lot of shimmying in this level in order to get your way around. So once again, I've taken the liberty to fast forward a little bit through all of these parts because yeah, right now there's absolutely nothing happening right now. Only just getting around the next part, which is going to be interesting. I mean, we're already 6 minutes into this level, and I'm not even counting the extra time that we would have been here if I didn't speed this up, but yeah, we didn't even encounter a single trap yet. So this is the number one reason why this level really sucks so much. At least the floating runes gave you something in order to try and break up the monotony, even if it was completely horrible. So yeah, talk about this being the most intuitive trap ever. I mean, well, you had a sort of a warning earlier when you first got into the safe passage that the monk gave you, and yeah, this is another amount of snow which kills you because it's not actual ground. But yeah, who will dig such a hole inside the ground of those incredibly dangerous looking cliff and make the entire pit bottomless and find a way to cover it with a tiny patch of snow which just happens to rupture underneath your feet? Well, oh yeah, we have another new enemy. Well, this level has quite a few new surprises up into its sleeve. Yeah, we've got mountain rats, which are pretty erratic. They can actually block your attacks, and they're pretty annoying as shit. And finally, well, right now, why I'm sucking so much against him is, on my last playthrough, those guys didn't even do anything, so this is pretty new behavior for me. You can pretty much block their attacks like every single enemy that you encounter in the game, but yeah, I was just too surprised here to do anything. Alright, here's a guard tower up ahead. I wouldn't mind some human company right now, even if said human company is probably going to kill me because everybody that we've met so far in this mountain are jerks. Safe passageway my ass. Are you trying to kill me like your buddies in the library? Yeah, I'll never forget about those jerks because, yeah, those guys were jerks. Oh yeah, we've got an assassin which is rushing us from about 30 feet away. The effect of surprise was not wasted at all. And yeah, right now those guys are really getting way too easy right now. They're pretty much a formality at this point. If you're still having trouble with them, well, maybe you need to play another game or not play it at all. Yeah, another alert guard here, but what happened to my fire arrows? I thought that I had 3 more of these. Why do I have none now? Well, here's your answer, folks. You remember that fire shrine from earlier? The one that you need to use if you have no fire arrows? Well, like all of the previous shrines we've encountered in our journey, well, the effect of the arrows are temporarily, so as soon as they wear out, all of your fire arrows disappear, even if they were acquired legitimately, so talk about this being great programming, guys. So anyway, yeah, it's pretty easy to mess up this part of the level because your first reflex will be to just rush up to that dilapidated sort of bridge that we saw earlier, but it is kind of a mistake to mess up on that place because there's a good load of goodies here, including a furry rat that we're going to kill in order to get a new coat, because winter in these cliffs is a really harsh mistress, my friend. And besides, this guy is just way too much hyperactive. He needs some sleep already. Yeah, that's right, your accuracy is getting off the mark. It's really a good thing that you don't meet too much of those guys because they're really annoying. They're a lot more bothersome than all of this sea monster crap and business that we've got here, but hey, at least our patience has been rewarded. We've got the final life extending potion in the entire game. Right now, we're as powerful as a prince of Persia can be. Also, you're probably going to be even stronger if you play on easy, because when you pick up a life extending potion, when you play at easy, you get 1 bottle and a half every time that you pick up a life extending potion. So you're gonna have a health bar which is gonna stretch from one part of the screen to the other. But speaking of potions, we're gonna see an item that we didn't see in quite a long while. It's the first potion that we've picked up in the entire game. Long time no see, buddy. Oh wait, I can't see you anymore. Ha ha ha. So yeah, now we're invisible and we've got weapons this time around, and you're going to see pretty soon how fun it is. Which is... Jesus Christ. Why am I stuck at the side here once again? I'm gonna waste my entire invisibility just climbing up here. This is pathetic. But hey, yeah, we really need this invisibility in order to bypass this guard who couldn't even do anything if we were visible at all. So obviously enough, the first reflex of this guard after being sword struck about 6 times in a row is to do nothing. But yeah, it's pretty much an entire waste of invisibility that we've got here, because it's already fading away, and now the archers finally started to shoot at me despite me being inside a building. The AI of this game is so wonderful. Yeah, there's another enemy ahead of you. Usually what you do is you pick up the invisibility and get all the way up to the demon in order to win the fight incredibly easily against him, but yeah, I wasted my entire chance by being stuck onto the wall. But hey, it's not like I'm doing any shabby right now. Oh yeah, how about that? Wait, was that the demon doing this noise, or was it the prince? I really couldn't tell. Ugh. You seem to be forgetting that you've decapitated dozens of people, drove your sword into harpy guts and shit like that, so... don't act like you've seen absolutely nothing disgusting in your entire life. Besides, you're probably worse than all of those guys, so... you better shut up, buddy. I would hold my breath on that one. Which is exactly what you're doing right now. So here we go, now we're into another new part of the caves, and right now, yeah, we're going around this place because obviously it's part of the level's rail. Almost every single level of this game is on a rail, but, well, this level is almost worse and all of them all reunited. Because of all of those absolutely horrendous stretches that the game make you go through. I mean, once you press this switch, you literally need to walk for an entire minute in order to finally get to a part where something will happen again. We're going into the very lengthy corridor. Oh, now this is the kind of room that I enjoy. A room which is filled with skulls, and even more giant skulls, and switches that we must press. Don't every one of you like switches? I do. Now let's hope that I did this right. Oh shit, what the hell? It's a gigantic mutated goat person from hell! Well, my entire checklist for a free game is now complete. This is the last thing this game needed in order to be completely freaky. So yeah, this LP can now finally die a happy death. Or maybe not, because we're so close to the end now. And this guy is also a pain in the ass. It's definitely the hardest enemy that we have to fight so far in the entire game. He's pretty much on par with the demon for being a bitch in combat, and he's got a shitload of health. But luckily enough, well, at this part of the game, you should be strong enough to finally take him on. Right now, I'm faking him with my awesome moves. Alright. Well, that heavily compensated for all of the really shitty death animation that the sword have. Despite this being the best weapon of the entire game, it certainly has the most boring animations out of the entire lot. Even the staff have better animation than it. But hey, now that we've finally disposed of the goat, we can open this again in order to reveal a potion and a lever. It goes without saying that you need both of them to finish the level. So why am I even saying that? I think this is called filling the air, but no, this is not an invisibility potion, folks. What could this be? Well, we're gonna find out a little bit more by going back all the way to where we were, to that little damn looking place which is up here. Well, this is the cliffside which is up here is where you need to go, and right now, oh shit, no, this is not what I wanted to do! Whew, talk about this being fortunate. A slow fall potion and a ledge which actually saved my ass. This was the best of both worlds, I'm telling you. But yeah, now we've pretty much done what was the best part of the level. Now, I'm not kidding you when I say that the next part of the level is virtually nothing but climbing up and down ledges for about, well, 8 minutes. What made the designer think that it was a good decision for a level? I mean, this is all that you do in the entire rest of the level. As much as the designers probably were on drugs when they made the floating ruins, on this level the designers probably took heavy dose of narcotics and were falling asleep on their keyboards. Yeah, unfortunately this is the last part of entertainment that we will get for quite some time. It's also pretty funny that I'm wasting what is probably the best kind of arrows in the entire game to deal on measly archers that go down after only 3 or 4 hits, but those guys can go to hell. Right now, all that I want is to finish the level as fast as possible, and nobody wants to see a prolonged shootout. And oh god, we're stuck into a current. Well, as much as the level designer really seemed to be bored as fuck with this level, at least the voice actor had some kind of fun with it, so everything kind of balances out in the end. So yeah, I imagine that the designers made this level in order to make their entryway into the pantheon of games which overuse colors into their game in order to try and make them distinctive. I mean, Quake had brown, Daikatana had green, Doom at black. Well, this game has blue because this level is blue as hell. There's pretty much close to no variety in the colors in this level. And yeah, sometimes perspective is a lot harder than it sounds, folks. Alright, fuck this noise. Let's get this over with! Why was you so boring, Prince of Persia? Ah! Whoa! What the hell? Holy shit, I was not paying attention at all anymore. Whoa! He suddenly decided to cry out loud a whole lot here. Out of a sudden. So yeah, the only people we had any sort of fun into this level was the animators and the voice actor, because yeah, they've made this entire swimming like a moron animation just for that one part, as well than this part where you got swept over by the wild current earlier when we grab onto that bridge. But guess what? The suffering and torment of the boredom of this level is almost done, thank God. Now we're actually breaking up things by having some fighting here. And well, those guys are not too hard, but they've got a shitload of health, which makes things kinda difficult here. But hey, I'm surely not going to complain. I'll take fighting about 2 or 3 guys in a row over having to do that climbing up and down ledges shit that we've done for almost 3 minutes. Yeah, that footage that we've done earlier was speed it up about 3 times its usual speed, and as you can see, it's still carried on for quite a long time. I'll just let you imagine the fun which is doing this section at the normal speed, and well, you just have the casual crappy random music which is playing in the background and which we've already heard before. This is probably the most damning point about this. They could have done a great atmosphere out of this game if they took the time to create more music track and customize it in order to fit the levels specifically, instead of just saying, hey, we're gonna create an assortment of totally unrelated track and we're gonna play them at random. This will be the best soundtrack ever. So this is mostly why I've started to put more custom music in the past video and this one, because those levels are so long and this music eventually gets really repetitive after some time, because you hear it for the entirety of the game and it never changes. And finally, well, this was the second longest level of the game. It's just a little bit shorter than the floating ruins, and it's probably even more boring, but it's nearly not as offensive, and we're finally done with the cliffs. Dear Life Journal, why my husband was such a moron.
I'm sure your grief is real, my love, but the beggar prince is now gone. Will you never allow me to comfort you?
Get out!
Oh boy, we sure got a good soap opera coming.
You will learn to never turn your back on me. You will look upon me when I speak to you, and when I act, you will see that I am in every way the equal of your late husband.
I can jump off dirigibles like a man.
Perhaps you were right, my husband.
Nothing to instill the romance like saying, love me, bitch! Oh. Okay, for a second I thought that the plot was getting all crazy and fucked up. What am I even saying there? I'm a little bit behind the times here, because as far as I'm concerned, this story has jumped the shark a long time ago. I'm not saying that any of the Prince of Persia game had a good story, but I don't know, this one manages to be even worse than all of the other games. And I'm talking about games that were created before storylines even became a prominent element of game making or anything like this. So yeah, congratulations on doing worse in a game which is 10 years old than back when this was released. So anyway, we're finally done with the cliffs. Right now, we've went past the worst part of the entire game, the horrible duo which comprised the floating ruins and finally the cliff. Both of which are either horrible or plain boring. Luckily, the rest of the game is a lot better than that. I'm even going to say that the remaining levels will have an increasing curve into their quality. But it's too bad that there's only 2 levels left, and the final boss. And I'm pretty sure you already know who he is. So anyway, this is it for now. Stay tuned as we tackle the Sun Temple. I hope you enjoyed this video, despite this level being absolutely boring as fuck, and well, I hope to see you again for the remaining last few levels of the game. The ride is coming to a close, folks. So see you!